Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's Marcus again. I just wanted to do another quick live. Isn't it interesting how when you ask a question, you get the answer and the opportunity, but probably not in the way that you wanted to. So I was speaking to my good friend Lauren Daniel, who is in this group. She's a fellow transformational therapist, and we were talking, and I've been talking a bit about vulnerability quite a lot at the moment. And I thought this would be an excellent opportunity to kind of be a little bit vulnerable. And, you know, as somebody who works in transformation and as somebody who has learned that, you know, the road to transformation is not always smooth, I thought this would be a great opportunity to share a little bit of vulnerability with you. Because one of my speakers who's coming on the mastermind on the 15th of December, Paul Webb, posted something, I think it was on Instagram or Facebook, I can't remember, but it's talking a lot about the unauthentic companies or the unauthentic coaches that are out there that really are, I'm going to use the word, preying on people to make money. So they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not, as Joe Vitale says, doing God's work. So I wanted to express something, and this is me being pretty vulnerable, put myself out there. So for those of you who don't know me directly, I left the police in 2020, just before COVID, to start my purpose, which was my business as being a transformational therapist and a coach. And obviously the impacts of that have been that I've not been able to get my business, you know, running as smoothly as, let's say, I would like. And I was in a position last year where my wife had been made redundant, COVID had hit, was getting clients in, but not enough to pay the bills of two, you know, relatively well-paid jobs. So what happened was, hi Pip. What happened was that I ended up kind of on my knees, just saying to the universe, this is kind of where my spiritual journey started, I guess, going, I don't know what to do, I'm going to hand it over to you. And what happened from that was that I ended up applying for a job, got the job, and that's where I work now. And unfortunately, found out yesterday that my job is at risk and that I will be having to cut my hours. But here's the difference that I just wanted to say, is that about a month ago, I was speaking with my coach, Mona, who's also on the live, and I said, we got to this phrase, and my phrase at the moment is, how can I be more, how can I serve more, how can I work less? And the reason why I asked that question is that I was probably working 18 hours a day, just doing my job, and then also, you know, running my business and doing all sorts of stuff. And it was draining. My mental health was starting to suffer. My physical health was starting to suffer, and enough was enough. So the universe pushes us in different directions. So yesterday I found out that I've got to cut my hours, and I've got to go part-time, which clearly has an impact on my finances. It clearly has an impact, and it's quite worrying. You're still going to pay the bills. But I asked the universe, I said to the universe, how can I be more? How can I serve more? And how can I work less? Well, we definitely know that one of those has come true. One of those is about to manifest. But we've got to look at the opportunities here. So this is the way that I've kind of reframed this. Now, maybe last year when I was in a different space and I didn't know what I know now, I would probably be panicking and really, really scared and in a real lack mindset. But I look at this, although, yes, there is fear because the unknown is fearful, there is no transformation without detoxification. Yeah, Christos asked, and it is given. Yeah, and I think this is my point, is that I asked, but we sometimes have this thought that you know, I want more money, I want more opportunity, but the universe will test you first. You've got to really believe that that's what you want. And my purpose, 100% my purpose, was after being on the verge of suicide and wanting to kill myself and coming out the other side, my commitment to the world was to say, for anybody who needs help, I'm definitely going to help people. But as many empaths will know, we tend to let people drink from our cup until it's empty. And we're told, you know, that we shouldn't be selfish, we shouldn't, we should always serve others. And service starts with yourself. You know, you've got to pay yourself first. And when I say pay, that doesn't mean financially. That means you've got to love and respect yourself enough to stand up for what you believe in. And you've got to ask those questions, and you've got to see opportunities. And I remember Lisa Nichols used this phrase, but she also said something else to me. She said, there's no transformation without detoxification. And I love that phrase. But one of the other things that she talked about was about tolerance. And when you quit doing something that no longer serves you, you open up the space for possibility. And really, that's what the universal laws are around. And the majority of people won't make that move because of fear. So what is fear? Fear is literally a story that you tell yourself based on your past. But I liken this to a balloon, that if you blow a balloon up and then let the air out, it will never go back to its original shape. It can't. And you're the same in your life. Opportunities will come, and some of those opportunities will feel good, some of those opportunities will be challenging. But you've got to remember that when you face these new challenges, you face them with past wisdom, not past problems. So if you start to look at that and you start to take action and not repeat the same mistakes, and often we tend to do the same thing because it's familiar, and the mind does not like the unfamiliar. So you have to take that radical action, and you have to deal with those subconscious beliefs and bring them into your conscious thought, investigate them, and you need to find out, is that a truth? In this present moment, is that a truth? So I just wanted to share that because I think it's so important that we see so many amazing coaches, we see so many of these people that we put on a pedestal, including entrepreneurs, you know, and I'll tell you this now, all of them go through that anxiety, all of them go through that fear. The difference is that when fear comes, they sit in the fear knowing that everything will be okay. They're willing to take action to resolve that. They're also willing to make choices that might be uncomfortable and might be unpopular, but they trust that the universe has got their back. They trust and they believe and they have faith that everything is working out for them. So that allows them to step forward. And the more you practice that, the more belief you get, the more you can then start to raise your vibration, and you can then start to attract the things that you want. And that's really what the course that I've designed is all about. The universe has my back. It's about taking the science behind manifestation. It's about taking belief, religion, and putting a framework and some tools together to allow you to make those changes, because it is possible. The problem is that most people aren't willing to take responsibility. And there's a great phrase that says, you know, if you take responsibility, you'll be able to respond. I'd love your comments. You know, my big thing at the moment is that I'm all about honesty. I'm all about integrity. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have that honesty and they don't have that integrity. And, you know, there are lots of people out there, and there are many coaches in this group that I know that have that honesty, integrity. And my job, as far as I can see it, is to try and help people wake up, to try and help people realize that there is a different way, and it doesn't have to be difficult. But you do need to take action, and you do need to have that belief and faith that your life can change. So thank you for listening to me rambling on. Tatiana, Christos, thank you. And yeah, if you're watching this on replay, just put #replay. I'd love your comments, and please feel free. I'd absolutely love for people to share their own stories, their own journeys, their own vulnerabilities, and what it is that faith means to them, what the universal laws mean to them. Have you got a story where that's happened, or are you struggling? You know, you don't need to be alone in this world. It's a fear-ridden world at the moment, and there's lots of challenges, and I want to make this space, this Facebook group, a place where people can be held, they can be loved. It's a place of freedom and of space and of choice. So yeah, feel free to start posting. Let's get some conversations going. And as with anything else, if you know anybody who would be interested in these conversations and in what I'm trying to do, please invite them in. And I'll be posting some more stuff. This is just impromptu, but I will be posting some more stuff, and I'll also be posting some more stuff about our amazing speakers that we're going to be having on the 15th of December at my masterclass. So if you've got any questions, please reach out, and just know that, you know, you need to make your life count. You only have one life, so you've got to go out there and live it, and don't be scared of making mistakes, because failure is where the growth is. So thank you everybody for listening, and have an amazing rest of your day.